Hello, everyone, and welcome to this wonderfully opportunist talk in the mainframe skills and learning stream. We need to talk about Emma. Now, some of you will know exactly what that means, but to most of us, that might be a little bit mysterious. So I hope by the end of this talk, we'll all be a little bit the wiser. So let us begin. My name's Herb. I am an academic at the University of Hertfordshire. I have a long background working with the mainframe community, and I'm also chair of the Skills and Learning stream right now. Let's explain what Emma stands for. Um, so Emma is the Eli Madison Mainframe Apprenticeship. And it is the brainchild of a gentleman called Dr. Cameron Say, who is a prolific academic when it comes to teaching mainframe and putting his students on the platform. When we met maybe a decade ago, he already had put about 3 figures worth of his students directly into roles on the platform, and since then they've all done incredibly well. So he has a unique perspective on kind of creating talent pools and getting them on the platform. I believe he is a direct descendant of Eli Madison, who was a gentleman who in 1880 founded a community that came to be known as Madison Park. He was emancipated after the Civil War, and he worked to get together some property, and a community came together, and they used these ideas of mutual aid to do some business things and some education things as a practical way to meet the needs of local families. So that's why Emma is has that name. The Mainframe Skills and Learning Group and how that kind of ties in. So you will see our manifesto there, which effectively says we are interested in the things that help mainframe systems be better, and a lot of that is about education and skills as opposed to kind of just technologies. So when I first heard about Emma, I thought, wow, that's an interesting idea. That's something that we definitely have to cover. Now, at this point, I'm going to bring in another Emma enthusiast. Welcome, Andy.
Hello, hope everyone can hear me.
So, could you say a little something about how you heard about Emma for the first time?
Sure. I heard about Emma late last year, maybe September, October via LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for about 18 months only, really. And last year I was looking at various learning opportunities because I want to pass on some of my knowledge. And I found all the traditional training organizations, reached out to them, see if I could offer any support. Emma came along and I sort of read up about it, and it's a very good background. Based in America at the moment, but I'm a night owl, so I'm up at all times of the day. And one intriguing part on the Emma website, or at the time it was, I think, just a sort of basic feed, was they were looking for volunteers. So I said, okay, interesting. So I clicked the link and wrote to the guys, and then Dr. Say and Cable Rose, they contacted me and said, yeah, sure, Andy, come along, join us, see what it's all about. And
So
since
I
then,
take
I
it
haven't really missed many weeks.
it's meeting. So yes, you were hooked.
Yeah,
So
I
I
was
was going
hooked.
to say
Definitely, it was definitely hooked.
for you, it was as much a teaching opportunity as a learning opportunity.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I am actually going through the apprenticeship learning or the
Mm-hmm.
pre-apprenticeship just to see what everyone's learning, the
Okay.
sort of the new guys, which is, I think, very important for a teacher to actually know the course material. I'm sure you
Yeah,
would agree with that.
it generally helps.
It does help. So
Mm.
you know what the students are going through. And yeah, so that's where I am. I'm possibly once it really gets going and there's a need, I might also maybe do some of the training, presenting some of the courses. I've done that in the past in my mainframe career for various companies. Given product training, and I've done a lot of sort of skills handover to mainframe juniors, shall we say.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I enjoy
Yeah,
the
no, no,
whole
no.
the
Very,
whole.
very, very much a toe in the water.
Hmm.
Let me throw us another slide. This is a historical one. So, back in around 2011, IBM had a little gathering of all the academic staff that were teaching mainframe in the UK, and you'll see me back in the corner there, and we were talking about this idea of the mainframe skills gap and what we were doing at different universities to address that. So we talked about a few different models for getting mainframe on the curriculum. Um, and what we discovered was that there was a genuine skills challenge, but it wasn't necessarily what we thought it was. Um, so there's a book I recommend to people by Peter Capelli called "Why Good People Can't Get Jobs," and we had this situation where um, we had people that were trying to get onto the platform, and we had companies that were trying to find people, and there just wasn't this matchup. And thinking about it carefully, although there are some things you could do with graduates, there is a lot to be said for a program that's actually focused on this skills gap, like Emma. So this is a chunk from the Emma website, and you'll see particularly what they focus on is these three bullets here. So it's training that's industry aligned. It is designed to be experience that can be used practically. And once you actually start working in the area, that should be a paid apprenticeship. And the whole process of mentorship and career development is baked into the program. So we know that it's definitely taking us somewhere. And some of the solutions that we've had previously have fallen down on some of these points. Um, what was your experience, Andy? How did you first get into the platform? Did you have an apprenticeship route? What
Oh,
did you learn?
way back, I started in the 80s, and it was kind of an apprenticeship, I guess, but not in name. I started as a trainee programmer. I was working in an office job, and well, I was interested in computing, the early days back then. So I moved over to the data processing team, as it was called back then, as a trainee programmer, mainly because of IBM, I have to say. I think back then it was IBM training was probably the only training material that was out there. I learned COBOL, JCL, I learned sort of IMS, IDMS database, another one. My focus was payroll because I had worked in the payroll department. So I just, yeah, learning on the job and getting paid for
Mhm.
it. And for me, that's the key. I've never actually admit it. I'll admit it here. It's not on my CV, so I'm not lying. I don't have a degree. I don't have any formal training,
Mhm.
but it's seen me good for 40 plus years.
Mhm. And I think that that's one of the interesting kind of challenges that we discussed when we were first talking about this issue with the skills gap, was that previously many companies had training programs that were internal, and they also had a lot of patience. So they'd bring people on board and they'd say, okay, we understand that you're going to take time before you kind of ramp up. Some of the interesting history of how we are where we are with the platform and the skills has meant that organizations are a bit more selective, and people, often the very best people who could have a lot of impact on the platform, don't necessarily have time to ditch their work and kind of start to train up on the platform. So this is why a kind of a practical industry based approach makes a lot of sense, and that's basically what Emma is for. Okay, so um, the offer that they make to learners is basically join our community, start working with people who have experience, people who are volunteers, as essentially what you were explaining before. There is a package of learning, and I hope you can tell us a bit about what you saw there. And as you follow those steps, there'll be opportunities to network with companies and put your skills to good use. So, can you tell us something about the skills packages, the content that you've looked at through the program online?
Right. I mean, what I've seen, I mean, I haven't been involved in the creation of all the content. That's, I mean, Cameron here, who's on the call as well, can tell us more about that. But it's good. I mean, I've seen online, I've seen many sort of training sort of products where you just see a few PowerPoint slides, maybe a few questions and answers, and then 3 hours later you're done, and you've got a little certificate. But the Emma content is a lot more substantial than that. I mean, that they use like a learning platform, which is which a lot of people do who do online classes, sort of Moodle, I think is the correct term for that. So once you're approved, you get signed up, you get a like an account, you get access to a real mainframe, which is key as well. I mean, a lot of training is theoretical only. So this, I mean, the guys have set up, a section on a real mainframe where you can sort of learn. You get a training ID, you can log on, and it takes you from absolutely zero knowledge at all. You own the word mainframe is the only thing you know, and there's a lot of background reading material. There's a lot of great videos from industry experts who tell you about the background. It goes
Uh-huh.
into the hardware, software, all different products.
I'm hearing at this point it's resources, human and otherwise. At this point, I think I'll bring in the man himself, who can
Go for it.
illuminate some of those gaps. Welcome, Dr.
Thank you.
Cameron Sen. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
very much.
for joining us. Um,
I
we
No,
please,
go ahead, please. Please.
please take the floor. So we were just talking about Emma and how it works, because when I first heard about it and I started reading the things that you got in place, I thought to myself, well, what an interesting model. Could you say a little bit about how it works?
Absolutely. And I am so, I cannot tell you how excited I am to be here. I was not aware this meeting was going to take place. And did you send this to me over Slack or something? I didn't, for somehow this is not, is this when we're going to meet?
This is the one. This
bi-weekly?
is the one. Part of the
11,
GSUK stream.
11 Eastern time on Tuesdays. Is that it?
This is the
So
one.
it shall be written.
Yep.
So let me tell you about Emma. So Emma, Herb, you've been knowing me a long time. And Emma's just a result of a 20-year journey. It's just a 20-year journey. And you've been a part of a good chunk of it. And so it's bad. I'm not going to get too much in the weeds now because I want this to be for general consumption. I want the general people. You don't need a PhD to understand what we're doing. I want everybody to understand kind of what we're doing. It's based on the way people actually need to learn things to develop expertise. My PhD is in education. I study human expertise. I've learned human development at a granular level. And, you know, this is not really theoretical. This is basic common sense. But there is data to back up everything I do. So it's basically you just see what the activity looks like that you want the person to engage in. For example, create a JCL job, right? And then you figure out what are the aggregated tasks that are required to do that, starting with reading. Can they read at the middle school level? Good, check, done. Got that done. Take it from there. And that's what we do. And we just walk you through a progression. Andy's seen them, and we're always refining them. This is never completed. This process is never completed because every time you have different learners in the environment, you've got to modify your items accordingly. At least I do. That's the way I teach. See, this is not the Iowa test of basic skills. We're not trying to norm the world on blonde-haired, blue-eyed little Iowa boys. God bless them. Nothing against them at all, but the world is the world is what it is. I'm not even going to use the term diverse because the term diverse has become so politically pregnant. I don't even want to use it anymore. The world is differentiated. The world is differentiated, and so what we do, our teaching methodology from the ground up, is grounded on that principle that the activities modify themselves as the learners need to modify. For example, if all your learners cannot see, if they're all visually impaired, your items are going to be different. They're going to look different. If the learners, so that's what we do at a high level. And it's grounded on mainframe. And you know, I'm not going to get to the technical part because this is going to be a series of ongoing meetings. Our program is built around the assembler curriculum in Northern Illinois University and Jeffrey Decker. That's the foundation of what we do, assembler from the ground up. Then the COBOL and everything. So I'm really excited now, and I'm going to open this up to questions because I don't want to just, my days of giving these long harangues are over, man. I want to listen to people. I want to say what people want to hear. I want to inform people. I want to preach to people. I want to inform people. I'm very excited. I went with Eddie, our pet CEO, and said, look, man, I want to start a program at the high school level in North Carolina. And I got a friend of mine, a woman I used to date, but that's not material at all. Teach in a public school, in high school, in rural North Carolina. This is Black, rural, poor, right? Black, poor. And these kids want to learn mainframe. And she did it before, back in 2013 or 2014. She had a little mainframe club. This is in Vance County, one of the poorest counties in the state, not the poorest county, but one of the poorest counties in our state. We have counties over here. Y'all know we have counties, not provinces.
Yeah, we do too. We do too.
And yeah, but yeah, it's poor. But she wants to do it. So I said, Eddie, I've not heard from Eddie. Eddie's out of the country. I don't want to bombard Eddie with like stuff, right? Eddie, I let Eddie and Cable talk because Cable has submitted invoices to Eddie. Eddie is paying those invoices. So I'm going to leave that process alone. But I said, look at Go ahead here.
So in terms of the structure, so this is one of the things that I found really interesting. So it seems to me that you have two types of people. They're all volunteers. So you have the knowledgeable people. So it's the people with experience, and you have the people that are looking to learn, and you also have these companies. Yeah, so it seems that you have these two kinds of roles. They're also quite distributed from what I understand. So could you say something about that, about how people kind of work together?
So, another thing, like I say, you don't need a PhD in education or psychology to understand this. but we are going to introduce some vocabulary to the conversation. One of the terms is community of practice. Emma is a community of practice, meaning it's a way we do things. We're a community practice in the mainframe space. So that community practice involves companies, it involves universities, it involves community leaders like Andy out in the community with gurus and Dusty Rivers, those types of guys. Of course, it involves students, it involves academics like you and me, and everybody works toward this end of developing mainframe expertise in whatever way they do. The companies do their thing, students do their thing, profs do their thing, etc. So that's how it all fits together. And it's completely organic. There is no business plan for Emma. There's a broad kind of business model, business concept. There is no business plan. There's no business plan. This is organic. Go ahead, Herb, please.
So that's what I was going to say. So this is quite unique in a way. I can't think, I don't, again, kind of technical terms, there's a narco-syndicalist kind of, as you say, organic. It's a group of people who understand this problem of skills challenges from kind of different perspectives, some of them being employers, some of them being academics, some of them people kind of new to the platform, and they find ways to work together. And to what end? Where is it all going? What are we doing?
No, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead. Now, because I'll forget it. But you go ahead and make your point.
Okay. But basically, the end result is to fill the gaps that are there. I mean, last year when I was looking, I saw one presentation from another American university. I don't know if it's one that's known to you guys, but he said, okay, I'm training, I don't know, 100 students a year. I'm doing that for the next 10 years. That's 1,000 students. We need 50,000 a year. The American economy on its own needs 50,000, probably more. There's such a big scope there, and it's worldwide. That's why I got involved as well. Europe needs mainframers. South America needs mainframers. Everywhere is going to need mainframers more and more. And this is just a great way of training them. So, go on, Cameron. You remember what you were saying?
My point dovetails into that perfectly. Herb, this is where we're going. This is going to be a different way, not only to train technical people. I'm with the technical point right now. This is going to revolutionize the way we train technical people, because we're not imparting knowledge. We're developing proficiency, which leads to expertise. That is not what American education does. It does not do that. It does not do that. That's what we're doing.
I'm liking those terms. So creating proficiency and organic mainframe learning, community-based organic mainframe learning. I'm liking what I hear there.
Yeah, and it has to be that way because of the level of sophistication of the platform. And see, this thing, all this stuff, this UK thing, it came of its own. I didn't think of it. I'm looking at Andy. Andy's in the UK. He's coming to meeting after meeting. I'm like, damn, how many Andys are there over there? And this is just coming of its own. There's no great plan. So yeah, and I just like today, I saw you hit me on the phone. I'm like, oh, the guys are on. They're on the call now. Like I'm trying to buy a car. I'm in the middle of a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to stop and do this and get this resolved, get this settled, and then the car's going to wait. I got the money, it's all good. But this is, so where we're going, Herb, I'm trying to change the economics of the state of North Carolina. As a matter of fact, he's going to do that in the county. Though he needs 100. Now, if you record this, I dub over this because this number is not for public consumption. Eddie is not. The only person he shares this number with is me. But he needs 150 people this year to get what they need, to do what they need to do. They want to triple their business. Don't tell anybody that. That did not come from Eddie. It did, but it did. They want to triple their business. We're going to change the economics. The county that 21st century is in right now, the average salary of that county is $40,000. Not bad by North Carolina salary. The average job that Eddie's bringing there, $80,000, 80, twice the average salary. And he's going to bring 150 jobs to that county. Brother, those numbers are mighty sweet. And the only thing that's going to prevent us from getting the numbers is if the state of North Carolina gets in our way. That's the only thing that's going to prevent us from getting those numbers. Because if the state of North Carolina says, go forth and do great things, we can go forth and do very great things. No doubt in my mind. So that's where we're going. I hope that answers your question.
So yes, very much so. And don't worry, we could get that. We could get those bits that need to be edited out. We'll get those edited out.
Yeah.
So my observation here is there is a lot of energy behind what's going on. That there is this latent need for people and for skills. There is a latent desire for good and interesting work in technology. And among those who are practitioners, there's a desire for passing on some of the things that they know and helping people understand the things that have kind of helped them kind of build a career. Could you say anything about the experience of kind of finding people who want to share what they know?
Oh, well, so you mean the last, I probably had 15 speakers. Andy seen most of them. 90% of them are my former students. 90% of them are former students. All of them mid-career or senior professionals. Some of them, like Andre Clark, he's IBM's top kicks guy. Paul Newton's got a guy he touts, and I'm not gonna get crossways with Paul Newton. But if he's better than my guy, he's got to be damn good. He's got to be damn good. We'll leave it at that. But no, so yeah, it's not difficult at all. It's not difficult at all, Herb. I mean, that's what I want to do. And see, what I don't want to do is be repetitive. I don't want to make folks think that they got to fit this HBCU profile to do this thing. I want to bring in different people. I want to bring in people from my boot camps. I want to bring in Herb Daly. I want to bring in people in the like last night we had Darren Search. We had Darren Search last night. So yeah, so we're circling around. So yeah. By the way, can I invite Carl Eric Stinford to this call because this fits his time zone, and he's one of my
yeah. I mean, if he's here, if he's online, it's funny. I do actually have him on. I could. Yeah. Do invite him.
We have about 10 minutes left, but he can,
yeah. We got about 10 minutes, so maybe a word from him would be.
No, I didn't mean today. This flow is fine today. I didn't mean today. I meant going forward. Because there are other people that I would like to invite to the call. Now, I don't know what your criteria are. Is there like a screening process or something? Well, how are we going to get speakers? Who do we want to come to this call?
Yeah, no, just send them the link. I mean, we're kind of at the tail end. We've got like another 10 minutes, but I mean, my intention was to get some, get a few voices on and have it as a conversation, and people could, kind of share what they know and share what they do.
Absolutely. I can bring people. To have some of your students, Herb. I know they're in class now, but I mean, I'd love some of your students to get exposed to this.
So in a way, so this meeting, I'll explain a bit more about kind of how it works. Is kind of an opening shot. So it's kind of the start of a conversation that I hope will turn into a lot more. Through it's an organization called GS UK, which is basically kind of the UK mainframe community. So people will come back and they'll see the conversation that they had, and they can go, right, okay, so there's this Emma thing. I'd not heard about it, but now I had, and hopefully we can use that as a start of something. And all these things we have in mind, getting more people on, a bit of a panel. Introducing this to kind of new people to get more people involved, all of that will come from there.
What I've seen you do at your schools, Herb, is just amazing, man. You get buy-in. So good for you.
As you know, I barely do anything. We have these conversations, with the new up and coming talent, and we say, okay. I'm as much following them. I'm as much driven by them as they are driven by me, and I think that's kind of the.
Absolutely, it looks like we're doing a lot more than we actually are.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying the ride. Now look, we're not here yet, and that's why I didn't think we were going to have a call because E's like, we're not ready for Emma UK yet. That's E, our
Yeah.
operations guy. So I'm thinking that we're gonna put the call, but there's no need to put the calls on hold. So what? But I'm telling you, what we want to do is, Andy,
sow the seeds. Sow the seeds. Yeah.
Some of your students on move. Go ahead, Andy. I'm sorry. Talk too long.
Yeah, just sow the seeds. You know, get the name out there. That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's all I
Yeah.
had.
Yeah, no. So I mean, the idea of this one, and like I say, it's going to be relayed to like a UK mainframe organization, was just to demystify Emma. I think some people have seen the name and they say, "Oh, what is that?" kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so to give people an idea of what it is and how it works.
We want to
And
be
then
a place where anybody can come to. Yeah, we want to give anywhere in the world opportunity. Anywhere you are, if you're in a village in Africa in the middle of nowhere, we want to find you and we'll send you a Raspberry Pi and let you go to work. Now we're not there yet, but that's where we want to go. I want this for anybody on the globe to have an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I'd love to compare it to other kinds of models of organization, because we know there have been, and I said a bit about at the beginning about kind of the principles of Madison Park and this notion of mutual aid and kind of bringing together education and industry. I read up a little bit about how when Eli Madison founded the community, he bought a cotton gin, he bought a mill, and got people together to kind of help them to help themselves. So
my people, those my people, man. My family's forgotten all that, Herb. They've forgotten all that. It's a bunch of pompous Negroes now. They riding around in Bentleys, living in $1 million homes, man. It makes me sick. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting to kind of highlight how these ideas can be very productive, because I showed a slide earlier about kind of one of the meetings that we had for kind of UK academics, and kind of sometimes we feel the only model we know is the model we see. So Andy was saying when he started on the platform, he got a job and they sent him on some training courses, they gave him some material, and that was kind of how he got on. The conversations that we had were like, well, you're at university, you'll do a module or whatever, then you'll get yourself recruited to a company, something like that. It's very good to acknowledge that there are other models, other ways, and they actually feed into what we do in those other places. And I guess that's why we have guys like Darren talking about the stuff he does, because his material, his work crosses some boundaries. As you said, Jeffrey Decker has this long history, particularly with kind of assembler, and again, so that's academic, but at the same time very practical, and we're giving it to an audience of kind of motivated kind of people. So it just was interested in talking about the idea and kind of how it worked. I don't know if you can see any slides in front of you at the moment. Can you see
the learners slide
right here? Yeah. So that came directly from the Emma website. But one I'm going to show you when it lets me get a look at my screen again. So there was a book that I had some experience with, and I don't know if you've had a look at it. Is it going to let me do what I want to do? Joyce. So hopefully, can you see that? Oh, let me change.
Still on the learners.
Yeah, that's right. I'm seeing if it will let me change.
Discussion.
We've been doing that.
Yeah.
So this is a book that I've had some success with, called Apprenticeship Patterns, and basically it's a discussion of different ways that a software engineer can progress. And ever since I found it, it's something that I've been thinking about whether we can, based on the experiences, start to map out ways that this might work for people who are seeking kind of new skills on the platform. And so inside the book, I'll show you this. It basically picks up on a number of different scenarios, a number of different challenges that you might have when you're trying to learn practically. And it talks about how they relate to each other, and it gives each one a little name. So you can see, for example, there's one called the white belt, right? So that's about adopting the mindset of somebody who doesn't know anything, so that you're open to new ideas. And I think on the platform particularly, if you have a different background, so maybe you know a lot about Windows, a lot about Linux, often it can be a challenge to go back to being a beginner. But it just kind of offers little bits of advice about how to do that, how to achieve that kind of end. That one where it says like kind of find mentors, it kind of talks about, okay, this is a situation you might get into. One of the ways that you could deal with that is to work with mentors. Now, part of Emma involves all of those things. It would be interesting to see if there are particular patterns and pathways that we could identify that people use to get their success.
No, that's good. Good. One thing I'll just point out. I learned from Cameron about sort of more academic side of it, about the way people learn, and it's the concept of just stretching yourself enough to like improve your knowledge around peers who have got a little bit more knowledge than you, and then you'll build up the knowledge. I like that sort of idea. I don't know what the technical term is. What's the technical term there?
Well, the technical term is zone of proximal development. Zone of proximal development. You can do something with peer assistance, with expert peer assistance. Then you can do it by yourself, and you extend it. You keep extending what you can do on your own. So it's a formal term for it, but it's just common sense. It's common sense.
Sure.
Gentlemen, Emma UK is officially established. We don't need you to be on Moodle. We'll get you on Moodle whenever we can. Andy's on Moodle right now. Herb, you can be on Moodle if you want to.
Yep.
So you guys go ahead. You guys are running it. Co-directors, as far as I can tell, do with Emma UK. You know the Emma's ethical framework. You know our principles. You know you stay within those. Have at it, brother. You know what our goals are. You know what we're trying to do. Have at it. Thank you for this. I'm so excited. I can't stand it. My life is unbelievably good because of you guys, man. You don't know the life I'm living. Y'all don't understand. It just seems like I'm living a normal life. Dude, I'm realizing my wildest dreams.
And I've got to say, everyone involved with Emma is as infectious, as enthusiastic. It's really good. It's a really good bunch of people.
So I'm going to ask.
So River's here.
River's just joined.
River's coming in. So I'm also going to ask Yetunde to unmute, because let's get everybody. Hey Yetunde, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Hello everyone.
Hey, how are you? So good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you
so much. It's been a very educative session for me and very insightful. And I joined 2023 when I was a student, and Albert happened to be my supervisor and also a mentor. So, and he has been introducing me to a lot of resources and opportunities. So that's why, when I saw that he's the one hosting this particular section, I jumped in immediately. Yeah, thank you so much, Albert, and thank you, everyone.
And see, I got to laugh because Andy and Herb know this. Young lady, you have no idea how bright the future is headed. You can't imagine. It's brighter than you could possibly imagine, than I can imagine. I see my students doing things I could not imagine when they were students. So I'm welling up with tears now. I'm so glad you're here. Just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. And you're going to work for it. You're going to earn it, but enjoy the ride.
River, can we bring you in?
River,
You're in
please.
the background there. I'm going to offer you to unmute. Hello, hello. Would you like to say something? This is technically the kind of the discussion bit where we're kind of getting in some thoughts, ideas, and experiences.
River's a former apprentice.
Yes, I was an apprentice through another company 4 years ago and graduated 2 years ago, and am currently a systems programmer at a bank.
Oh, fantastic! So you're one of our finished examples.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And
I
here's
mean,
the thing. Here's the thing, Herb. The training she got, now Cable up those guys, they did a good job, but they did not really have any in-house mainframe expertise. They were just imparting knowledge, and they got jobs. Don't get me wrong, but we're developing chops now. And again, this is no aspersion of what Cable. They did a great job, but we're giving proficiency. We're giving them proficiency with that they didn't have. Very, very glad.
So, if you were giving advice to a learner, River, having been someone who, has recently kind of been through this experience and been successful, what would you say to them about Emma, about the program, and about how it works?
As for Emma, I don't have as much information as to how it all works, but
Well,
I know
maybe more
that
the process of onboarding. What you prioritize as a new person on the platform.
don't stop educating yourself.
Yep.
That's the biggest
Excellent.
one.
Yep. Lifelong learning is the term. Lifelong learning. Never stop
Indeed.
learning.
Indeed. And don't let the amount of education be daunting. There's a lot. It's going to be a little bit scary, but don't let it defeat you.
That's good.
Yes, kind of perseverance. Yeah, I mean, I hope there are a number of different discussions that we can have around the program, because I think some of the nice things about the kind of the mentoring relationships that are baked into Emma help us address some of those challenges that River's talking about. So not being daunted by things being, kind of too big and too out of reach. How you keep going. Well, it's the same as, like, when you go to the gym with your friends, you can actually, kind of motivate each other and kind of help each other improve in ways that are kind of different if you're doing kind of solo training, maybe.
That's the community aspect, the community of practice. That's a big key.
Yeah, I don't get upset about too much that the apprentices do. If they work in isolation too much, I get very upset, because they're not going to learn in isolation. They're not going to learn that.
No, very good. Well, Cam, I mean, we're almost at time. I would potentially give the last word to you. If you had a message for people who were thinking about getting involved with the program, where should they go to find out some more about it? And what would your message for them be?
So very simple. Emma.Foundation, the website, it's a work in process. You can sign up there. Sign up, join. There's no obligation, no cost. You're not on the clock. Just if you want to change your life, join us. And I'm going to invite more people to this call. Thank you, River, and thank you, Yatunde, for coming. Today we're going to have more. And I don't go by numbers. If I got one, that's good. I count one. I'm good. So Herb, that's it. That's all I got. I'll see you guys. If this is the time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, it's Tuesday on State, I'm gonna bring as many people I can to this party. Promise you that.
Yeah, this is a one-off. We'll reschedule, like, going forward.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We will schedule one. Okay, this is not ready. Okay, whenever you schedule, whenever, it's up to y'all. No problem.
Fantastic.
I'll be here.
Great. Well, thank you all for joining us. A wonderfully spirited meeting. Please look into Emma, and we hope to see you all again soon.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks
for running this. Excellent.
No. All right then. I'm going to let everybody go
and stop recording.
Stop this call. Lovely.
Okay.
All right,
cool.
Thanks very much, everybody.